Remember back in the days when times were simpler? When the milkman came to your house, you didn't have to go out and buy some milk. Where the postman came and delivered your letters every day. When old Timmy went out and rode his bike to school, all you had to worry about was going to work, getting the job done, and coming home to a loving family. Yeah, I don't either. I'm actually I'm too young for that. I grew up in a world where violence and crime roamed the cities. A world where a hacker could easily log into your own system and take over your body, make you do things that you don't want to do, but you're just a passenger on the seat. That's right. I'm talking about Future Cop. A future cop that has no rules, no sets, no regulations. Hover cars, hover bikes, and that's right, even laser guns. Rockets everywhere, and holograms that you can fuck. Oh yeah. Very strange indeed, isn't it? Very scary a world. That's the world I live in. You should be afraid.
Hey, what's up, Victor?
Jolin, can't you see I'm monologuing here? I'm like trying to capture my own thoughts.
Were you? I went to go get some water and now I'm back and I see it. You just started recording.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know? I mean, I got bored. You know, these thoughts were something that had to be jotted down. You know, can't be forgotten. Did you see? The reason is because you captured like the last half of it, so you didn't see how amazing it started out.
Did I?
Yeah.
Or was I here the whole time? Am I the one?
What? Are you the future cop?
Yes.
Tell me, Jolin.
The robotic cop, RoboCop for short.
Robotic cop, RoboCop. Yes. Did you get beaten up by a gang
Terminator,
member?
Yes.
I am Predator. I fight aliens. Yes. Mm-hmm. Always on the hunt for the next.
I am both Predator and Alien.
You're a Predalien?
You're
Predalien.
Hey everyone, how's it going out there? It's us. It's your boy. We're back. I don't know if we're totally there yet. I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going with this?
I was
like, it's a good intro, but I was like, I don't know where you're going with that.
We're back. I'm Jolin, and I got with me the one and only Victor.
Yes.
Who you were in a little bit of a sticky situation.
Was I?
You were in a car rollover.
Was I?
Don't tell me you have amnesia now.
I mean, like, the sticky situation was, like a long time ago where, 4 guys and too much vodka. It's just, it's not a good time.
Well, I guess that's a story for another day.
I got into an accident with my friend recently. She, I'm not going to say any names, but she wasn't very skilled in the art of automobiles. So she freaked out on a turn, and the car didn't roll over.
I know, it flipped over to one side.
It just flipped on its side. It was a lifted truck, so the weight distribution on those things are just horrible to begin with.
Could imagine.
So it just went on the side, and I was on one passenger side, and my arm was like sticking out the window, so it got scraped dragged along the asphalt. Some skin took off, but everything was fine. She wasn't hurt. I wasn't hurt. The car was able to turn on and drive back home, so we were fine. Everything turned out.
Yeah, I was supposed to be with you guys that day.
Yeah, I remember, but you decided to go fishing instead, and
I promised my dad I was gonna go fishing with him.
You guys got saved. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we got lucky.
You got lucky right there, because.
It's a good thing this isn't like Final Destination, because then Edward and I, we have to watch our backs, or some shit's gonna happen.
Like you guys
gonna catch up to us.
Yeah. Like me and my friend are already off the list, and he's coming after you guys.
You're not a fan of Final Destination?
It was a no. That movie's alright. It's okay. It's not. It was a good genre to begin with, because it was something different in the horror scene. But that was my first accident. I've never been in a car accident before. Have you?
One, but I mean, it was like a collision, and it wasn't even that bad.
Was it a big enough accident where it jolted your body?
No.
No.
So I was a little kid, and my mom went to go pick me up from school. and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and you would have to take a left into the mobile home park that we used to live in. And I guess my mom kind of misjudged the amount of time the other car like would take to pass her so that she could make the left. So she turned too early, and I think the guy probably sped up or something, and he just hit us on the side, but he wasn't going that fast. He was probably going like 35.
I mean, that's pretty hard hit.
Yeah, but I don't know. All that happened was like the door just dented inward because it was like an old 90s Camry.
Oh, I see.
Like I don't even think it had airbags. It had one of those it had one of those automatic seatbelts that start from like the beginning of the car and they roll up.
Oh, as soon as you walk it, like you
as soon
climb
as you close
in,
the door, it just
it starts closing itself.
It like it's on a belt and it just closes, so it like automatically latches you in.
I remember the first time I saw those belts, it just freaked me out. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, that used
what
to
are
be like
doing?
there used to be a loophole within the safety standards for cars back in the day.
That was a loophole?
Yeah, that either you had to put an airbag or you had to have one of those seatbelts that will like always secure the passenger.
Really?
Like it was you could unbuckle them, but most of the time like people just left them there because that's what the manufacturer required.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it was like you're either wearing the seatbelt without any say in it, or you have to put airbags in your car, which like in the 90s was really expensive to do.
That makes sense, and it's understandable. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, even if it had airbags, I don't think the airbags would have gone off because it was it was probably going like 25. It was a school zone.
Yeah. Yeah. So I saw recently that fucking Activision over here with their great marketing schemes or something over here is trying to put microtransactions in Crash Team Racing.
Which doesn't make sense because it's a remake of
so,
the game.
I was about to explain that. I was like, for people that don't know what Crash Team Racing is, people that don't really play video games, it's just, Crash Bandicoot, like the star boy of the PlayStation, the what is it? Mascot. You know what I mean? The mascot in competition with Spyro and, those guys that sold amazing games. And little kids loved them, and adults just loved the platforming in the games. They created a kart game for Crash.
Yeah.
Just like at the time they made
because that was the thing.
Mario
back in
Kart.
the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. They made
Everyone
Mario Kart.
Had kart racing.
Yep. They wanted to compete with it. They wanted to get into the scene. So Crash got a kart game, and I think he got like 2 or 3 of them. I think he got two kart games.
Really? I thought
total.
it was just like the one.
The original one was called Crash Team Racing, and that was on the PlayStation 1. And then on PlayStation 2, they released Crash Nitro Kart.
Oh.
And in this remake for the PlayStation 4, they combined both of them.
Oh, I see.
So Crash Nitro Kart actually had a story to it, where it was like an alien came to challenge them.
Yeah.
But Crash Team Racing was just as simple as that. It was just a racing game with your favorite characters, had different mechanics, blah, blah. And then now with the remake, they did a really good job. I'm not gonna lie to them. I love this game. I love Crash. Nostalgia reasons, but also at the same time, the game mechanics were improved from the original game. The graphics were impressive. It looked beautiful, and they added an online section where you could just race with people around the world.
That's pretty cool.
And they had a lot of tracks. They had a lot of customization is what they added to the game, where you could customize the car, you could customize the wheels, you could customize the character themselves as well. So they would give like costumes for the characters, which was never done before. So it was really fun. They added a little shop that you could unlock by getting gold coins that you could get just by completing the story or just by completing an online race. Depending on how good you did, they would give you more coins, and those coins weren't hard to accumulate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they would give you 600 700 coins just from like racing in a normal race, just for participating. So getting all the skins, getting all the characters, it's not hard to do from the store that the game itself has. But for some reason, now that the game has gotten great praise, now that the game has gotten, good reviews and people are actually playing it because it's actually really fun, now for some reason Activision is doing a very, in my opinion, a very negative idea of adding microtransactions into it, where I think they themselves made a statement about it saying it's just there. It's not gonna be like necessary, or like you could still get all the stuff, but the normal means. But we're just gonna have it if you choose to use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's so it's either way. The fact that they're putting microtransactions is what's really upsetting. There's a huge scandal, like you said, with Battlefront 2, the Star Wars Battlefront 2. Where people just got incredibly upset because that's what the game became. It became just spending money to even get to enjoy the game. You know what I mean? It wasn't even to like, oh, you could play it and then you could use microtransactions to make it more fun. No, it was like you had to use the microtransactions to actually play the game in general.
Yeah, I get you.
So it's just becoming an epidemic where every single game company believes that microtransactions is a good idea. And it's just
dumb. not every, because recently CD Projekt Red, the people who are making Cyberpunk 2077, are saying that like they're not gonna have any microtransactions in it, and literally like people who buy the game day one or pre-order day one will have the exact same content and availability to content as people who buy the game 2 years after launch.
True.
Like they've come out in a statement saying that.
I think they're the same company that made The Witcher, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Am I right? I'm not 100% sure, but if they are, then they themselves proved to the community that they kept their word. Because The Witcher 3 was a great game. It was huge, and when it came out with DLCs, the DLCs were free. Like for the people that bought the game. The DLCs were huge. They were like
they were
could
like
be their
other
own games. Yeah, and they were free entirely.
That's crazy.
They announced them like, look, we're making DLCs. This game, like as soon as they heard DLCs, everybody started like giving a little negativity. But then as soon as the DLC dropped, it was free. Like if you bought the game, they gave you all the DLCs for free, and that was like a great move on their part. And so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I retract my statement about how every company's doing it. But huge companies like Epic, like Epic Games, Activision, and EA, and which I think EA is losing a lot of like support from the community.
EA are the people behind like the FIFA series, right?
Yeah, they're the ones that made Battlefront.
All right, yeah, because I know they're like in the hot seat when it comes to microtransactions. Yeah, because the newest FIFA, like FIFA 2019, is basically a pay-to-win game.
Is it really? Actually, like I know that was another like topic for discussion. In the community, in the gaming community. But since I don't play FIFA, I didn't really care about it.
Oh, I don't.
Do you know what?
I don't really play it either. But from what I remember from seeing like other YouTube channels that cover gaming news and stuff, they were saying how like FIFA 19 or whatever, the newest installation to the FIFA games.
Yeah, it should be 19.
And also like NBA and NFL games. Yeah. Like they're just a mess. Like there's just transactions everywhere. And then even if you're like I forgot what the expression is, but if you're so adamant on not getting transactions, they, on top of like having the transactions in the game, there's like a transaction to get rid of ads in the game. So like
what
they have, like I think that was the main thing that most people are getting pissed off about with especially FIFA, is that like EA actually puts ads in the game.
What the heck? Are you serious?
And there's a micro-transaction to pay to get rid of the ads.
I did not know
I could be
that.
wrong. This is what like from what I remember from a video that I saw like a while ago. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this is what I remember.
That's despicable.
And it sounds like something EA would do.
It does. It really does. And that's the sad part about it, because you're paying what, $60 for a game that has ads from something else, from like other companies that, oh man, that's just so sad. That's really sad. If it's true, then it's really sad.
And I mean, there's some companies that like they do have microtransactions, but they're not in your face about it. You can literally like play the rest of the game without it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, Fortnite, as crazy and as popular and as whatever it is, your opinion on Fortnite, you can play the game normally and not spend any money or like do anything for V-Bucks.
That's true. Exactly.
The same thing with Overwatch. And if you do, there's even like an option to buy like exclusive skins from teams.
Yep.
that support your Overwatch team. So if you're like supporting the LA Overwatch team, you can buy like a specific skin, and that money goes to whatever they have to do,
Yep.
either travel or just better PC stuff. I don't know, but you know,
See, when it does stuff like that, it's understandable because you actually feel like it's making an impact. You actually feel like you're helping them. You know, it's
Exactly.
There's a reason behind it because the way I feel when it comes to adding microtransactions to a game is that it makes the game meaningless. You know what I mean? It makes it less
True.
fun. It takes away some fun of it because when you see someone with a cool skin that you would rather, instead of like working hard to achieve that skin, you could just buy it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like you never find out who is actually a good gamer because, you know, they actually earned the skin, or who is just willing to just look good and buy the skin themselves. And it gets lost in that field.
yeah, I understand.
And that's why for me it loses some fun. You know, of course I'm this is my own opinion when it comes to just that specific idea.
Yeah.
Because I know for some people it's great fun and more power to them, but just for me in that aspect I see it that way, and it sucks.
Yeah. So still on the topic of video games.
Sorry, before I forget, I keep wanting to mention this.
For sure.
Sorry. So when it comes to CD Projekt Red, because of all this negativity when it comes to microtransactions and pre-orders, you know, when people pre-order a game and the game is released, they realize how much the game has been unfinished.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, the company just tries to make money, and or at least if it's not unfinished, they show this AAA amazing trailer for the game with amazing graphics and great gameplay, and then when they actually release the game to the public, it's nothing at all. It's a fraction of what that trailer was.
Yeah.
So that's why people were having, like, if anything, they were trying to boycott online, like through the community. They're trying to boycott pre-orders to show the companies that we're no longer going to be pre-ordering them if you're going to keep disappointing us in that manner. So CD Projekt Red came out, I think this was a while ago. They themselves tweeted to the community saying, we promise to deliver the best we can. The trailers that they have released has actually been in-game footage.
Oh.
Like, that's how good it's gonna look, and we swear to uphold that, and we promise. You know, they pretty much just laid it on the table saying, you know, we understand the struggle of what you guys are going through right now, and we're trying our best to not let you down that way.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard to, from my point of view, from the gamer's point of view, from the community's point of view, it's hard to believe them. Just because no matter how good their intentions are, they're still a big company only in it to make money. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole reason why they're making games. But at least we have some form of, like, reassurance with, you know, The Witcher 3. They did a good job. They kept their promises with that game. They actually exceeded expectations when it came to that game. So many people, from what I've seen recently, are at odds, like really, really debating with each other on whether they should support CD Projekt Red when it comes to pre-ordering Cyberpunk 2077. And I find that interesting, you know, how you know, it's there's two sides to every story, you know, and
yeah, I get you.
It's hard to believe whether the game is going to be that good, or whether it's going to be worth pre-ordering it or not. And I just wanted to ask you, are you interested in Cyberpunk 2077? Like, what's your point of view on that?
I'm interested in the game, and I definitely want to see, like, how it's going to progress and, you know, just the story behind it.
Yeah.
But I don't have a PS4.
Right. Well,
I'm not as interested. I mean, if it comes out for PC, sure.
I'm pretty sure it is going to come out for PC. PC, Xbox, and PS4, I'm pretty sure.
Damn, no Switch? No kidding.
No.
No,
it's going to be
yeah,
too
if
big
it comes
of a
out for PC, I have to prepare then, because, like, my graphics card is not good enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that thing's going to be an overhaul.
Yeah, definitely. So, if it does, I'm still interested in the game. I still want to play it. I don't know.
But what's your perspective on what I said about the community being divided?
I mean, it's fair. I understand
stuff.
why they're divided, and I mean, as much as you want to believe that, like, yeah, you know, they're gonna they're gonna keep to their word and everything is gonna be fine. And like people were saying, oh, look at The Witcher 3, like it's basically the proof's in the pudding. But at the same time, they are a company, and as much as you want to believe, like companies have morale and they believe and they're like in it for causes. At the end of the day, they are just in it for money. Like they have a quota to meet. They have projected sales that they have to meet. So it's like they have that going against them. And then you have the whole like not nihilism, but just the doubt of people. Like we've been burned by all these things so much.
True.
That
Exactly.
it's like it's understandable.
So
But if I was on that on those forums, I'd definitely be a proponent for like, give them a chance. Like,
yeah,
I believe in CD Projekt Red.
all right. Yeah, that was my follow-up question.
Yeah.
On which side are you choosing? I'm still like debating. I haven't chosen a side yet.
I see.
I definitely pre-ordered the game already, but I only put in like the minimum, the $5.
Yeah.
that you are required. So I haven't fully paid for it, so that way I'm not losing money if I decide not to pre-order it anymore. But I think I'm slowly starting to convince myself to fully pay it off and to fully pre-order that game because of CD Projekt Red.
Well, it doesn't come out until like 2020.
Yeah, exactly. So we still got time.
That's 6 months away.
Yeah, I still got time to think about it and mull it over.
Yeah.
But hopefully, more and more evidence comes out that we can trust in this company.
Yeah, definitely.
Or at least that they won't let us down like so many before them. Like EA and Activision.
Yeah.
Okay, so what were you saying?
Oh,
when you were
so
like saying on the topic.
Fire Emblem.
Oh, Fire Emblem.
The newest
the Three
installment,
Houses?
Three Houses.
Mm-hmm.
It's out. It came out. Well, by the time we're recording, it's been like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. You bought it, right? You bought it for the Switch?
Yeah, definitely. I bought it day one.
Yeah.
I didn't pre-order. I just bought it.
Uh-huh.
Because I was on the border of whether I should get it or not, because this is my first Fire Emblem game, and I know how infamous and how hard they can get.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
But I like, I don't know. I like the whole turn-based strategy, like real-time RPG kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I had to like convince myself, like, do I like it enough to get this game? Because I could have easily just put that money from Fire Emblem into like
Link's
Luigi's Mansion,
yeah.
or I already paid off Link's Awakening.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I could have put it into Pokemon or
Games
or
that you for sure
other games.
know you're gonna like.
Definitely.
That you will enjoy.
Yeah, but I got it. I played it. I finished it in like 3 days. My God, it's such a good story, and it has so much replayability. And then now I just figured out that there's actually a 4th storyline.
What there is?
Not only is there a storyline for each house, but the Black Eagles has a separate storyline within its storyline.
What?
Yeah.
You sure it's not like 6 in total where each one has a separate?
No.
It's only the Black Eagles?
No, it's just the Black Eagles, because there's a crucial point in the game.
Oh, it's a turning point where you have to choose.
Yeah, so do you care about spoilers?
I think we should I
I definitely like put a spoiler warning and
we'll do a spoiler warning. As I think I don't mind the spoiler just because I'm not playing as the Black Eagles.
Yeah,
and at
definitely.
the same time, it's a long game, so I'm pretty sure by the
also,
time
I've been watching
it,
someone play the Golden Deer route.
Yeah.
And I understand how like your whole skepticism, like, ooh,
Right.
maybe the church is a bad guy.
Right.
Because the way that the Golden Deer plays out, it does look like because Claude himself is very doubtful about the church, and everyone is like, they don't care about crest or nobility, and so I understand.
Yeah, and it's like Claude. Wait, Claude's your father, right?
No, Claude is the
main leader
bow
of the
dude.
yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. So your father, Gerald. He was a knight for the church, but he decided to leave out of nowhere, and they haven't explained it yet in my storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
Well,
he
because
did that.
you're only in like chapter 3. Or
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah. No, I barely began. I'm chapter 5 right now.
All right. So you don't care about spoilers,
No,
right?
not at all. But
okay, so
spoiler
this is
warning
like
for
an
everybody.
official spoiler warning for people who are playing Three Houses. If you don't want to hear about the Black Eagles or something, just skip to this time or whatever. It'll be in the description.
Yep.
But last warning, you're officially in spoiler territory.
All right.
So, in the Black Eagle story arc, Edelgard, the main girl of your house, she betrays you.
Ooh, oh,
She betrays
I was
you
not
because
expecting that.
Because she doesn't believe in the power of crest. She doesn't believe in the way that the empire is ruling.
But doesn't she have like her own crest power?
She has a crest because they tried to infuse her with a crest.
Oh, that's
she had
fucked
12
up.
brothers and sisters, and all of them died. She's the only one who was able to inherit a crest.
Oh,
so she hates
that's
the
why she
powers
hates
of crest and
Yeah.
everything.
Okay, that's
So
understandable.
she betrays you, and that's where the fourth storyline comes in. You have to talk to her within the month of February. And you have to tell her that you'll be loyal to her no matter what happens.
Really? So
Then
you get to choose whether you
play-
follow her or
yeah.
the church.
Exactly. So you continue to play the rest of the game, and then you play like... What's up, Sergio?
See ya.
See ya. Alright, so as I was saying, so you play the rest of the game, and then there comes like a mission where you have to stop these raiders from collecting like ancient fragments.
Uh-huh.
Turns out, Edelgard is the one behind all of this.
Oh, wait, she's the one leading the raiders?
Yeah, she's the one who's like in the background pulling the strings
Yo,
and stuff.
that's crazy.
And she finally says like, whatever, let's just stop this whole charade.
Uh-huh.
So not only does Edelgard betray you, but the other guy, Hubert, the kind of goth-looking dude,
Yeah.
he also betrays you because he's loyal to Edelgard. And then some other people from the church also betray the church.
Okay, so this is considering if you follow the church's pathline, not Edelgard's pathline.
No, regardless.
Really?
So this is where the story splits. So like if you talk to her in February and you tell her that you'll be loyal, when it comes time for her to, when she reveals that she's just a traitor,
Yeah.
and she'll ask you like, Professor, come with us.
Oh, okay.
So you can choose
That was
yes.
my question, yes.
You can choose yes to
To
follow
go with her.
Edelgard, and then
Uh-huh.
that opens the option to romance Edelgard
Uh-huh.
and become the husband of the Empress and betray the church and actually ultimately take down the church.
Yo, that's so
Or
crazy.
like even if you do everything right and you get that option, you can still say no, but then you go back to the regular Black Eagles storyline
Uh-huh.
where you fight against Edelgard.
Dude, I was not expecting
Exactly.
that at all.
Like the Black Eagles has the best story, and I'm so glad I picked them
man.
first. It's so good.
Okay, so now I'm getting excited. Okay, have you seen anyone play as the Blue Lions?
I'm playing as them, and then
Uh-huh.
from my own playthrough as the Black Eagles, you kind of figure out what happens to the Blue Lions.
Yeah. Really?
And it's kind of fucked up.
Okay, does each one have at least a fascinating not twist, but at least a fascinating role to play in the overarching storyline?
Yeah.
To the point where like no
Well,
matter what you choose, you're still
kinda.
satisfied.
I think so. I haven't gotten far enough into like people playing. They're still
Yeah.
very early on, like within the first 5 chapters.
Oh, okay. Because I was
but
curious,
from what I gathered from my playthrough of the Black Eagles, what happens is Edelgard like decides to wage war on the Kingdom of
church.
Fargus and the Lannister alliance.
oh shit.
So she wages wars on both houses.
Yeah.
And then you side with the church to defeat Edelgard's army, but Edelgard is too powerful. And then she does some shit, some other stuff happens, and then you go into a coma for 5 years, and that's where the 5-year gap comes.
That's why.
And then after the 5-year gap, you see Edelgard again, but you don't get the option to join her. She senses a hesitation in you, and she labels you as an enemy. And then
Damn.
your students meet up with you after the 5-year gap, and they explain everything. And it turns out that the Dimitri from the Blue Lions,
Uh-huh.
he was one of the first people to like stand up to Edelgard, but he dies.
Oh, because she was too strong.
Yeah, like he's a casualty of war.
Bro.
And then Claude from the Golden Deers, he's known as the great strategist
Yeah.
because somehow he's still able to keep the alliance together.
Damn, for real?
And he's like still able to hold off enemy forces. Like
Alright,
that's what
alright,
happens
I'm happy.
That's what happens in my playthrough.
Yeah, no,
I don't
I
know about
understand.
the other ones, but the story is so intricate. It's good. The animations are beautiful.
Yeah.
The gameplay is beautiful, and then
and there's so much depth behind the.
if anything is like
the
at
game
fault,
itself.
it's the continuity of everything because it feels kind of rushed. Like oh, all this exciting thing happens, and then bam, like it's 5 years later.
Yeah.
And all this, I don't know. But overall, like, it's such a good game. I'm so glad I bought it. I'm happy it's like my first Fire Emblem.
Uh-huh.
And I did play on normal, but I played on casual mode where you have permadeath.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And one of my students died like in one of the earliest missions, so I was like always down a student.
Wait. So On your first run, you played with permadeath on?
Yeah,
Really?
the whole Black Eagle storyline.
Yeah.
I played with permadeath on, and only one of my students died, even after the 5-year gap and everything.
So I wanted to play. Was it called casual or?
Oh no,
or
classic.
Normal? Classic. I wanted to play classic just because I've never played a Fire Emblem game as well, but I know how much fun they are when it comes to it. You know, like it adds suspense to the whole strategy game aspect of it all. But I was too afraid, man, because I've never played this game. I was like, I know I'm gonna have them killed on the first mission, and sure enough, one of my students died on the first mission.
Well,
but
the first one's okay.
I was playing casual, so
Yeah.
they didn't really die. But
The first mission's
would've
okay, even if you're playing in classic mode. It's just the mock. Like the first 2 battles are fine.
well, yeah, I know they're mock battles. They're fake. But the one where you're fighting the bandits.
Yeah, that's like the first real battle.
Yeah, and one of them died. So I was like, I would have been down a student already.
I
and
know.
I was like,
Oh,
thank
and
God
then
I didn't.
so from what I understand, they changed the whole like romancing aspect of the game as well.
What, recently?
like-
Like in an update or what?
No, like from previous Fire Emblem
really?
games to now, because now you can like work on your relationship and stuff, but you don't choose who you want to romance until the end of the game.
Oh,
Literally, like
rather-
right before the last battle.
Ah, man. Cause okay, I understand what you mean because my friend who actually has played the other Fire Emblem games, he has explained to me that sometimes you could even like romance them like midway between the game.
Yeah, and then they can
make a
have
baby.
kids, and then their kids have their buffs and stuff. Or
exactly,
whatever.
and the kid like fights with you, so I can understand what you mean that it's
Alright.
different.
So I guess it's like the end of spoilers and stuff.
Yeah,
But
that was interesting.
definitely, and the thing that I had the luxury of like being like a low life and being able to play the game uninterrupted. So
Yeah,
I
you
got
mean-
the full
you mean
experience.
You're on vacation right now, man.
Yeah.
So you're good.
So I got to play uninterrupted, and by uninterrupted, like 15 hours.
Yeah.
So I was just entranced in the story. Though there are moments where the continuity kind of fails the story,
How?
just because like if you like just the whole idea from becoming a mercenary to becoming a professor. That's like one of the earliest things that happen.
that one comes out
It
really
feels
fast.
very rushed, and it's like, wait, how does it even make sense? They kind of tie up the loose ends at the end of the play of your game, of your time with the game, but at the same time, it's like you still have those lingering questions like why and like how does that even work?
Because even then, I'm not sure if it happened in your storyline, but in the beginning, everybody's asking like, why would they hire a mercenary to be a professor?
That's normal.
Yeah, right. And that's also a question I had myself. I was like, hey, that's true. Why would they? You know, like just because her father was a general, like would they really do that? So yeah, I understand what you mean.
I also have to say, best girl, Petra. She's
Petra?
the best.
I understand
best
what-
guy. I used to think it was Raphael because he's just a big like
Softy
lovable
with like,
sweetheart.
yeah, with food that loves food.
But honestly, like Ferdinand from the Black Eagles grew on me.
Ferdinand? Who's
Yeah,
Ferdinand?
he's like this really pompous kind of guy, kind of noble. Like all he cares about is like
Is
being
he the
better.
red-haired dude?
There's 2 red-haired dudes. There's one
The,
who's
the,
like
the ladies' man, red-haired.
no,
dude.
that's Sylvain. He's from
That's
the Blue
Sylvain?
Lions.
Oh, okay.
So Ferdinand's kind of a ladies' dude, but not as much as Sylvain.
Uh huh.
But he just cares more about being proper and being better than Edelgard. Because if
Really?
Edelgard's family fails, he's next in line to become the emperor.
Oh, I see. Okay. And
Yeah.
he's actually nice though. Like
He
actually grew
grows
you?
on me. He's
Yeah?
such a sweetheart. He has such like pure intentions in what he does. Even if he comes off as like an asshole,
Uh-huh.
like I don't know. He's great. And I turned him into a great knight.
A great
That's one of
knight.
that's one of the classes you can choose.
Oh.
So
See,
and
I haven't even like gotten to that part yet. Like where you could change your classes. I mean, I know I've gotten to the part where to the point where they want to focus on learning specific skills
Yeah.
more than others, which would eventually turn them into, changing their career choice. But I haven't been able to change their class yet. I've changed my class from like, I don't know what the fuck I was, mercenary,
Oh.
to like a fighter.
Yeah.
I've changed to that. But I could see all the options you could do, like by having them study and having them focus and all that stuff. And It's fun. It's a fun game. It's really
Definitely.
interesting.
If anyone listening is like on the fence about getting the game, I definitely recommend getting it.
especially if it's your first Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, so
it's a great game to start with.
they diluted the whole strategy to Fire Emblem. Like they removed this whole weapons triangle where like axes are strong against lances and lances are strong against swords, but swords are strong against axes. So they removed that whole thing, but it's somewhat present there. But you focus more on like the attributes of each student to get you ahead in battles.
Yeah, to increase them and what is it? Improve them.
Yeah,
You could improve
essentially.
the attributes. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it. I know, like we talked a lot in the spoiler section about the story of it.
Yeah.
But mechanic-wise, it works well. I've always been a sucker for like the grid-based, turn-based strategies, kind
Yeah.
of like XCOM or
XCOM
there's
was fun too.
there's a really old game like on the Apple Store. It's called on the Apple Store. It's called like Great Little War Game.
Great little war game.
Yeah, where you can buy like it's basically like a red versus blue war kind of game.
Yeah.
Where you can buy like soldiers and snipers, tanks, like vehicles to move people around, and each area that you fight is different. Sometimes there's like islands that you fight on. Sometimes it's just a big continent that you fight on.
What?
And that was like my first. That was my first introduction to like turn-based tile strategy games.
Oh, nice! I gotta check it out. It sounds fun.
And then because of Three Houses,
It just,
I committed and I bought Wargroove,
Yeah.
which is made by Chucklefish, well, it's published by Chucklefish, who are the same people who published Stardew Valley.
what was it called again? War
Wargrooves.
War Grooves.
Yeah.
What's that game? I actually
It's,
like. Is it on the Switch?
So the way that people describe, it's on the Switch. The way that people describe it, it's like a mix between. I forgot the first game, but it has like it's very influenced by Fire Emblem, probably like Fire Emblem Awakening or Fire Emblem Echoes.
Okay.
It's like pixelated, and you move around, you buy units. Same thing. The story is kind of like lackluster. Like there's not much story to it.
Uh huh.
So far, you're just like trying to get revenge for like this vampire killing your dad. But the thing that's great about it is that not only like you can play multiplayer on the same console, but you can also play like community-based levels, and you can create your own levels.
Oh, really?
And like people can play them.
Not bad. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like Mario Maker.
Exactly. So there's a lot of replayability.
Speaking
And I'm like,
of like Mario, now that I got into this like those type of strategy based games, what is it? Tile strategy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn-based.
It has gotten me to think about that game Mario and Rabbids or something like that, because I saw that the gameplay was also tile turn-based strategy.
Yeah.
So, and I've been hearing a lot of good news about it. Like people who like on YouTube who didn't like the aspect of Rabbids mixing with Mario, like they themselves just considered Rabbids like to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
They gave it a chance, and they were like, you know what, this game actually just changed my mind. It blew my mind, because I was not expecting it to be as fun as it really is. So now that I've had this experience and I'm hungering for more of these games, I'm kind of down to try out that Mario and Rabbids
Right?
game. Yeah,
I am too, but maybe later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So maybe some
I'm
other time.
I'm still waiting for. So Fire Emblem was my big like July game that I was waiting on. I don't have an August game that I'm waiting on.
Oh, but you got some September.
But I got a
games,
September.
man.
I'm getting Link's
Mhm.
Awakening.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Winks.
Winks Awakening.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm getting Link's Awakening, the remake. So expect a full playthrough of that. I'm kidding.
On our channel.
No, we need a capture card first.
Yeah, that's why we haven't been making many games.
Exactly. So either Cafetalk is going to change a little to being more scripted, or just more like laid out, where we have maybe one or two topics that we talk about the whole time, kind of like this one where we just talked about video games.
Yeah.
And
Like we
video
have a
game
schedule
reviews.
on what we want to talk about.
Exactly. So like you guys can choose what you want to listen to or what you don't want to listen to, or just more continuity to it.
Or it's like a schedule where if we can't get everything that we want in the podcast, we could at least pass it on to the next one.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then we'll just remind you guys like, oh yeah, so last time we left off at this, we couldn't get to this. So even though it's old now, we still want to talk about that.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Maybe a guest. more guests.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
we gotta ask people.
We just gotta ask around. What happened?
I'm sorry. I looked outside and this guy just like carried his baby from like the leg up. Just like pulled it out of the carriage from its leg and
What
then
the
like
heck?
flipped it over.
That's a dad for you.
And I was like, all right,
That's strange.
that's weird. Yeah. Okay. So, gameplay and stuff. We're still kind of sitting on it. It might happen more now that like Victor has a place.
Oh yeah, I moved places. Yeah, I moved houses. So I got my
then
own room. And
all
we
I would
could
have to do is
that.
just like bring my desktop and keyboard because we could just connect it to your TV
Yeah,
and use your TV as a monitor.
true. That's
And then
true.
our recording setup.
And then we could just record right there.
Exactly.
And make some more gameplay for you guys.
Yeah. And I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know.
Although I really want to get a capture card just so that like we could play Link's Awakening on our channel.
Right?
That would be awesome.
Or we could just play like Mario Kart
Yeah, exactly.
and I don't know, other stuff.
That would be our guest
Full Fire Emblem playthrough.
of all houses. No, that would be our guest game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when we have
definitely.
guests on our channel, we could just have them play Mario Kart, Mario Party.
We also have some like live action stuff planned because you bought this board game off of like Kickstarter, but it hasn't like shipped yet.
Yeah, it's supposed to ship next year.
Exactly.
Yeah, towards the end of this year, if anything.
Yeah, so we got to figure out a way to do that stuff.
It's a huge role-playing game, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but it takes place of.
And we might even play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, true, that too. They released the starter kit.
Exactly.
So we might
it'll be a
do
small
that too.
campaign.
Yeah, we
I
got
don't
we
know.
got a lot of
just
stuff planned.
We got some stuff planned, just not enough time.
Yep. Yeah, so
Now that school's gonna start up.
true. You're gonna leave me alone, Jolie.
Hey,
You're
but
gonna leave me by
I
myself.
started driving now. I have insurance.
Oh, that's true.
So, you
hey,
know.
big man over here.
To be like, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm gonna study at the library when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons at your house.
I mean, I could just go over to your library and then set everything up.
Welcome to the quietest Let's Play.
Exactly. Or at least, set everything up while you're in class, and then when you come out, you meet us in the library, and then we're like, all right, let's get this started.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
That sounds fun.
And yeah, I mean, you guys can always comment on
what you
you
want
know,
to see us do.
what you want us to do, what kind of topics you want us to talk about in our podcast. Don't forget to share this with like your friends, your family, your dog, even though your dog probably can't subscribe to us, but you know, they're a good boy or a good girl. They deserve it.
They might like us, and you know, because you showed us to them, they might thank you because you're their world to them.
Exactly.
So there you go. You know, it's a win-win situation from our side and from your side and from your dog's side. So
yeah.
there you go.
Also check us out on Anchor.fm.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's an
please.
app that anyone can make a podcast on. We're on it, and it's great.
And it's also great, like, you know, it's not like YouTube where you have to keep the video playing so you could hear it.
Yeah, you can play in the background.
Yeah, exactly. You could
hear our beautiful voices
as you're driving by to work, or maybe even coming home from work. You could hear our supple, buttery voices.
And with that, we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Stay beautiful.